On the news, Defense Headquarters say troops recover arms, arrest foreign terrorist informants. EFCC releases suspended accountants general on bail. And the FCT minister charges security agencies to arrest anyone who comes to solicit bail for arrested criminals. Glad to have you join us to news now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. The Defense Headquarters has said troops of Operation Hadinkai in Borno State have recovered several arms and ammunition from terrorists. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Bernard Nyoko, at a press briefing also disclosed that following an intelligence report, the troops arrested a foreigner identified as Jabe Buba. Buba, according to the Defense Headquarters, is said to be a terrorist informant at Garuwa village in Tambuwa local government area of Sokoto State. The DHQ added that the troops also rescued no fewer than 100 family members of terrorists in the last 3 weeks.
31st May, troops repaired attacks at farm base Arege in Abadan local government area. During the attacks, the troops responded with heavy gunfight and inflicted casualties on the terrorists. Cumulatively within this period in Operation Hadinkai, troops recovered 10 AK-47 rifles, 5 AK-56 rifles, 2 FN rifles, about 300 rounds of 7.62mm ammunition, several AK-47 magazines, 1 PKT gun, 1 anti-aircraft gun, and 164 rounds of anti-aircraft ammunition, 111 Shilka ammunition too, 1 gun truck, 1 Shilka barrel, 2 Dane guns, among other explosive items that were recovered from the terrorists. And troops also rescued 100 terrorist families, including 33 women, and the rest are males. Troops have sustained pressure on economic saboteurs and other criminal elements, which has significantly reduced the freedom of movement of all oil thieves within the area. Consequently, they undertook operations at Mosoga, Jesse, Warri Native Local Government Area, Banga, Modanho Creek, in Warri Southwest Local Government Area of Delta State.
The suspended Accountant General of the Federation, Hamad Idris, has been released by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, after he was arrested for his alleged involvement in a 174 billion naira fraud. Idris was released on bail from the custody of the Anti-Graft Agency on Wednesday night in Abuja and has since been reunited with his family. Idris was nabbed by operatives of the EFCC on May 16, 2022, in connection with a series of frauds that was initially thought to be 84 billion naira. 3 days after his arrest, Idris was suspended by the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, to enable him to face his probe. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Mohammed Bello, has charged security agencies to arrest anyone who solicits bail for arrested criminals. The minister will give the charge on Thursday during the weekly ministerial briefing organized by the Presidential Communication Team, explained that the charge became necessary due to reports that some highly placed individuals have been known to solicit the release of arrested criminals. Beyond tackling insecurity, the minister said the revenue generation drive of the FCT is targeted at surpassing that of Lagos State. It disclosed that the Federal Capital City generates more than 200 billion naira annually.
The FCT administration, since this matter come, I will tell you, allocated land to the Nigerian Correctional Services in Karshi, where I think it's quite a huge expanse of land, and I think that now in the process, they're almost completed, I believe, or in the process of constructing a medium security correctional center there, which will reduce the gap. But now when criminals are convicted in Abuja courts, we have to take them to Suleja, and some will have to take them to Kefi, simply because if you want to take them, you don't take them to Kuje is filled up. And we've now worked also towards, with the judiciary, creating what we call a postal center where you keep criminals, or rather you keep youth below the age of 18 so that you handle it. So it's a whole systemic issue that has to do with the entire criminal justice system. But I do really want to encourage members of the public that when situations like this arise, and then you hear that some influential people are going to the court system to influence the release of people, please shout and we'll support you. Personally, I feel that whoever goes there to even seek for bail should also be arrested. Quite frankly.
The Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved a total of 23.52 billion naira for various projects across the Ministries of Petroleum Resources, Power and Police Affairs. The ministers disclosed this to State House correspondents shortly after Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the Council chambers of the Presidential Villa in Abuja. More details of that story in this report. Nigeria's rising inflation has continued to raise concern among industry watchers and government agencies alike. To this end, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, has said the Federal Executive Council has decided to take proactive measures in improving non-performing sectors of the economy. She added that the Council has also decided that the National Food Security Council would have an urgent meeting to address the issue of inflation and the prices of foodstuff.
We also reported to Council that inflation has started going upwards to the extent that the monetary authorities, the central bank, have had to adjust the MPR to 13% in the last MPC that they have met, and that's an attempt to manage the cost of inflation. So Council has decided to set up a special effort to look at the sectors that are not growing, and also to look at how we can grow the other sectors better.
On his part, the Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, said the Council approved the supply and installation of 330 kVA and 132 kVA transmission line for ongoing rehabilitation works in Lagos.
Request for approval of a contract to supply and install emergency restoration system for 330 kV and 132 kV transmission line for ongoing rehabilitation works in Lagos. The sum of the contract is $968,000.
Giving a brief, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timi Silva, disclosed that consultations have begun for the Nigeria National Petroleum Company to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Economic Community of West African States to construct the Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline. If implemented, the pipeline will be the world's largest offshore pipeline and the second largest pipeline in the world, carrying gas from Nigeria to Morocco and running through at least 11 West African countries to Spain in Europe.
For the construction of the Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline. This pipeline is to take gas to 15 West African countries and to Morocco, and through Morocco to Spain and Europe. Council also approved the construction of a switchgear room and installation of power distribution cables and equipment for the Nigeria Oil and Gas Park in Ogbeya, Bayelsa State.
As a measure to improve the production of petroleum products and boost the economy, the minister further disclosed that Council approved 11 billion naira for the construction of access roads and bridges to Brass local government area of Bayelsa State. Folashade Ogurinde, TV360 News. The Yemi Osinbajo Volunteer Support Network has said it will provide free medical, logistics and accommodation services to all APC delegates to guarantee a successful and tension-free convention. The group of professionals, while addressing the media in Abuja, explained that their decision to offer free services is hinged on their belief in the leadership of the Vice President and his ability to lead the nation as President.
The PYO Support Network is an ecosystem of relationships between experts in various sectors for a collective viability and recognition of volunteering for Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. These groups have deployed pro bono services to provide health intervention, logistics, accommodation, amongst others. Through our PYO Support Volunteer Network, we are contributing and our expertise, and this is more like opportunities where well-meaning Nigerians can harness the power of kindness to create a culture of service.
As we expect delegates of the All Progressive Congress to arrive Abuja for the primaries, we have set up mobile clinics, health posts to provide first aid services, outpatient services, and also, where required, we have ambulances to mobilize patients to the nearest, to evacuate patients to the nearest health facility to receive advanced health care management. We want to assure delegates who are coming into Abuja that as volunteers for the PYO campaign, that we are ready to ensure their health and well-being.
Everybody that is aspiring under the APC is qualified. But the fact remains that there are distinguishing factors, and the apex of it all is the quality of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Some members of Koshofe Federal Constituency of Lagos State have denounced the All Progressives Congress APC May 27 primary that produced Kafilat Ogbara as the party's flag bearer for the House of Representatives seat, adding that the outcome was largely influenced. The members will cut across political, religious, ethnic and professional backgrounds during a press conference held on Wednesday in Lagos, explained that no primary election took place in the constituency. They maintained that the list of the elected ad hoc delegates from the words for the primary was substituted by the party leadership in the state, which is against the rule of democracy.
We are here to tell the whole world that no election was conducted in Koshofe, primary elections for House of Reps and the House of Assembly. They should make available the list of the delegates elected at the Congress, submitted to ACME, submitted to the Party Secretariat, because it's unheard of in an election where you are an aspirant, you don't have access to the delegates.
On the day of the primary, we were at the venue. We didn't see them, only to hear that names have been written. I want to put it to you, sir, there was never a time there was consensus in Koshofe Federal Constituency. There was never a time there was leadership meeting in which decisions were made that some people have been selected through consensus arrangement. As I speak to you, the names have not been submitted to the INEC, and we are sure that in 24 hours is a long time for politicians to mend wrong fences. So that can still be done, and even replacements are allowed within 1 month at INEC. We are very sure that justice will prevail, and we are waiting for that to be done.
The youth of Koshofe Constituency 1 and Constituency 2 said no to injustice, no to impunity, no to imposition. This is our mandate. We voted for the delegates, and they now went ahead to change the list of the delegates behind our back. That is the slap on the youth.
The World Health Organization, WHO, has called on Africa and the Western countries to adopt a unified response to the global monkeypox outbreak as the virus continues to spread. The WHO Regional Director for Africa, Matshidiso Moeti, at a press conference explained that while the monkeypox virus has not spread to new non-endemic countries in Africa, the virus has been expanding its geographic reach in recent years. She added that it is critical that the continent has equal access to effective monkeypox vaccines and that it is ensured that vaccine doses reach every community in need.
To the monkeypox challenge, I can confirm that since the beginning of 2022, cases have been reported in Africa from Cameroon, the Central African Republic, the Republic of the Congo, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone. WHO and partners are joining forces to urgently understand the magnitude and cause of the global outbreak. So far, reported cases have no established travel links to endemic areas. Based on currently available information, they've mainly, but not exclusively, been identified amongst men who have sex with men seeking care in primary care and sexual health clinics. What is extremely important now is to avert any potential for a repeat of the inequitable access to COVID-19 vaccines experienced by African countries early in the pandemic. We must have one connected global response to monkeypox to avoid it becoming endemic in more countries. This requires equitable access to the necessary tools and resources and information exchange to promote understanding of the depth of the challenge. Parts of Africa may well have built up some immunity to monkeypox, but equal access to effective vaccines is critical to protect the continent's particularly vulnerable populations, including health workers and the context of cases.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, World Bank shares optimism in Nigeria's economy, says with right policies, Nigeria can leverage trade for poverty reduction. Details of this story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. The Defense Headquarters has said troops of Operation Hadinkai in Borno State have recovered different arms and ammunition and arrested a foreigner who is a terrorist informant in Sokoto. The DHQ also revealed that the troops also rescued no fewer than 100 family members of terrorists in the last 3 weeks. We also told you that the suspended Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, has been released by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, after he was arrested for his alleged involvement in a 174 billion naira fraud. Idris was nabbed by operatives of the EFCC on May the 16th, 2022, in connection with a series of frauds which was initially thought to be 84 billion naira. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. The World Health Organization, WHO, has cast doubts on North Korea's claims of progress in the fight against a COVID-19 outbreak, saying it believes the situation is getting worse amid an absence of independent data. North Korean state media has claimed the COVID-19 wave has abated after daily numbers of people with fever topped 390,000 about 2 weeks ago. WHO Emergencies Chief Michael Ryan disclosed that the health agency did not have access to any privileged information beyond the numbers publicly reported by state media. North Korea has rejected jabs offered by the WHO and not vaccinated any of its roughly 25 million people. Pfizer has announced that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has accepted its application for a 3-dose COVID-19 vaccine in children aged 6 months to under 5 years old. Last month, Pfizer had announced that its vaccine for younger children was 80% effective against symptomatic COVID-19. However, the company said this estimate is preliminary and is subject to change as more data is collected. The FDA also disclosed that its independent advisory panel is planning public hearings in mid-June to discuss both Pfizer's and Moderna's vaccines in younger children. Well, we'll take a break here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us. Welcome back. Simi Saladigun joins us now for more stories in business. Over to you, Simi.
Thank you, Folashade. Welcome to business. The World Bank says the Russia-Ukraine war, COVID-19 pandemic, and rising inflation pose challenges to Nigeria's poverty reduction goals. The Washington-based institution, however, said trade could be a vital solution, adding that it can help boost job creation, increase domestic value added, and reduce the price of goods that Nigerians buy along the way. It advised the government to implement deeper reforms such as improving interstate labor mobility and helping workers reskill themselves for sectors in which jobs and incomes benefit from greater exposure to international markets. The Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission has disclosed that investment commitments declined from $8.41 billion in the first quarter of 2021 to $2.58 billion within the same period in 2022. According to the report, investment commitments declined by 69.32% from January to March 2022. In this period, the manufacturing sector attracted the highest investment commitment of $1.1 billion, which is 45% of the total commitment, and is followed by the agricultural sector with $0.64 billion, which is 25% of the total commitment. Sokoto State attracted the highest investment commitment, which is 4% of the total commitment. We'll take a short break and be back with stock market reports. Weak investment sentiment still dominated trading activities on the Nigerian Stock Exchange as market breadth finished negative with 13 gainers and 28 losers. Thursday's trading recorded a decline of 0.25% as the all-share index ended at 52,840 basis points. Market capitalization still stands at 29 trillion naira. The least performing stocks are Royal Exchange and Global Spectrum Energy Services PLC, losing 3 naira 40 kobo. The best performing stocks on Thursday are Ella Lakes and PZ Cussons Nigeria, combining a gain of 16 naira. During Thursday's trading session, a total of 274 million volume of shares valued at 4.028 billion naira exchanged hands in 5,011 deals. For our global stocks, UK's FTSE is still standing at a decline of 0.98%. The Dow Jones is at 0.5850%, while the Nikkei is at 0.16%. That's all on stock market. Back to you, Folashade.
Well, many thanks to me for that update. And now on the foreign scene, as the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine entered its 100th day on Thursday, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has revealed that Russian troops control about 1/5 of the country, including the annexed Crimean Peninsula and territory in the east held by Moscow-backed separatists since 2014. It made this known during an address to lawmakers as Russian forces solidify their hold on the eastern Donbas region and pushing towards Ukraine's de facto administrative center. He also confirmed that Ukrainian defense forces have now liberated 1,017 localities, but another 2,603 also need to be liberated. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Nigerian comedian Stanley Chibunna, popularly known as Funny Bone, has proposed to his girlfriend, Angel. The comedian announced the exciting news on his Instagram page on Wednesday, where he shared a photo of his soon-to-be wife's engagement ring with the hashtag Stanley's Angel. Funny Bone also revealed that actor Aka Nnani had helped him and his wife come up with their own hashtag. Congratulations to the couple. After weeks of speculation, Nigerian rapper Folarin Falana, better known as Falz, has revealed the tracklist for his upcoming 5th studio album, Bad. The rapper announced the release date June 9 on his Twitter page on Wednesday. The album, according to his recent tweet, will feature Chike, Boy Spice, Big Sin aka Buju, The Caveman, Tiwa Savage, and LAX. On January 15, 2019, Falz released his 4th studio album, Moral Instruction, his most commercially successful body of work yet. And that's all we have on the entertainment segment of News Now.
Away from entertainment now to sports, the International Basketball Federation, FIBA, has confirmed that Nigeria will not participate in the 2022 Women's World Cup built for Sydney, Australia later in the year. This comes after the federal government withdrew all teams from international competitions. In a statement, FIBA said the NBBIF is unable to confirm its participation in the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2022, adding that the Tigress would be replaced by Mali at the competition. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade Ogorinde. Bye for now.